Hi, fellow traders. Yeah, we have survived this week. We survived the midterm elections and all of this other mess. So it's time to get back to work and get things going back in our favor. So we had a pretty good week. Really, the best week we've had since the summer. And I really look forward to the momentum continuing. It's I'm looking for 2019 to be just an incredible year. That's we're to the point now where there's some things that I'm gonna show you guys in chat. Just how you can work yourself out of your job. It can be done, but it's a process. It takes time, and you have to be dedicated to it. You can't be half dedicated to it, working and still be skeptical about what's happening and all of that. And you got to be fully involved. So that's why my question today is, are you ready to be a 10 percenter? Are you ready to earn that 10 percenter patch? And where that comes from is, the generally accepted stat is that only 10% of people who start out trying to be a trader makes it. 90% of people fail. And it may be close to 8 or 9% at this point. But we'll stick with the 10% because that sounds a little bit better. But, it's like anything else. I made it. I'm one of the 10 percenters. I'm there right now. I've been making a living on trading, but I may not stay here. There's a real possibility and a real chance, real good chance, that I may not stay as one of the 10%. I may fall into the 90% category because you have to stay on top of your game. It's just like those guys that we see that are standout athletes in college, and they play and they play their hearts out, and their goal is to get to the NBA or the NFL or the play pro baseball. I'm and these guys get there. They achieve their lifelong goal and they get there, but then they falter. They don't last. They make it. They're part of that, and I think it's 1 or 2% of all people that set out to make it in the pro sports actually make it, and they're even in more elite company, but they have to work in order to keep it. If you get there and then say, hey, I made it, and then kick back and expect things to keep coming to you, it's not going to happen. Because once you make it, that's just the beginning. Once I made it, and once I made the decision, and I said, now this is what I'm doing for a living, that was just the beginning, guys. That was just the beginning. Everything started coming after that. And we had to work. I had to work. I had to put in the time. I couldn't slow down. I actually had to speed up. And you got to be ready for that. And a lot of people won't tell you that. A lot of people won't share the things that I share with you every day, the struggles that you have to go through in order to grow. So I think it was E.T. that said this, that just because you made it doesn't mean you made it. You gotta work. You gotta keep working to actually stay on top and to stay a part of the club. So that's why I put in the work that I do. Doing this, running this community, doing the classes, doing mentoring, all of that stuff helps me. Every little bit, helps me stay on top and stay, focused and keep my eye on the prize. So just something for you guys to think about over the weekend. All right, so if you saw the video last night, we talked about the market and what I was looking for the market to do. I was looking for it to pull back to the 200. I was looking for a pullback yesterday, but we got a little indecision, so we didn't get the move I was looking for. But today, we opened with a gap down, and I just knew my plan was in effect. Now, I did end up leaving that 300 shares on, but got spooked out and took it off pre-market, for a small gain, because it looked like we opened up this morning when I logged in at 6, we were gapping down. I was like, awesome. I come back from taking my son, and I'm looking at it, and the darn thing has popped and it's going up. So yeah, it spooked me out. But ended up getting back in because this thing started to come back, and we're looking for the move here. And I said that if I can't find anything worth trading on my watch list, if nothing really set up and we're having that, typical Friday crappy action, I'm going to wait and try to catch this market rolling over and get into that trend. But even that was a little bit choppy, and it kind of delayed me getting in the small account. And I said I was going to trade both accounts. I wanted to trade with a little bit of size so I could make, a little bit more money, but I was still going to trade this, the small account in the room. And really, you guys got to see both, because I did log into my other account and you got to see what was going on there. But it was pretty much the exact same thing. So if we look at I want to see the SPY first. All right. So you look at this. This is the 5 minute. All right. So we had got down here. We'd already kind of run back up. We got down a little bit early, and this is on the run up. And then when I saw we were starting to roll over, I knew I got back in my main account, because we were starting to put in that bottom move. See here, we made a higher low here. We got under the VWAP and all of this. It was time to get in. And so this is what you guys were looking at. This was after I got out. I showed I got out earlier when we were making this run up. And when I got back in, I said I was just gonna kind of let it work. And it did chop me out once or twice, but it pretty much made the move I was looking for. We didn't quite get to the 200. Now here's the 200 from the daily that I've got marked. We almost did. We didn't quite get there. I think 276.18 was a low on this. And then it started to recover. And, when it started recovering, I figured that was it for the day. This is after 2 o'clock. And it's either going to sell off or bounce. One of the two. And it started bouncing, so I went ahead and covered all of it. So let's go back and see this trade. Okay, this is the one. Basically, the only difference between the large account and the small account is that I got in down here on the large account. And this is what you guys saw when I flipped over to it. Was, when I got in down here. So this account, I waited until we got a pullback, which was a bounce in the SPY, and then I got in. And so I got in here. I hit my first target, but then we came back and stopped me out. And here, I was kind of getting frustrated because we weren't making the moves that I wanted. It was just too choppy. So I got back in on this bounce, and we made a nice move up. I took some off because the price action was starting to look iffy. I took some here, took some more up here through 39, and then I was looking for 40. We didn't quite get there. We almost made it. Actually, I was looking for 40.15 is what I had my thing set on, but we couldn't get there. And then when we started washing out, that's when I took it off. And that was the last piece. And pretty much a carbon copy on my other account, and I'm still sitting here trying to debate on whether to, hold some on the weekend in that account to see if we get another gap down. But I really think that 200 is going to defend on the daily. I really think this is going to defend because I said yesterday that I feel that it'll pull back here and this is where it will bounce. You can see the 20 has come up. I think that's going to hold support and it bounces. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. This candle did close on the strong side. This is the strongest red candle you can have because at one point it was all red, but then it got bought up and it closed, with a lot of strength. So, what happens next week, you never know what can happen over the weekend. There's just a big degree of uncertainty that I would be concerned about, so I'm trying to talk myself into some sense here on this. All right, so only 127.43 in this because I took a loss on ATVI. That was kind of a silly trade. I thought it was going to sell off into the close, but it didn't. This is the one we made a ton of money on. Well, not a ton of money for a small account on earnings yesterday, but it didn't sell off, or it did a little bit, but it stopped me out before it came back. I didn't really give it a whole lot of room. So 127.43 in the small account. So it's not bad. I mean, we're closing out, and we'll look at that here in a minute, but we're closing the week out pretty good. And in the other account, the other one you guys saw, 980.45, and it was just trading the same action, exact same thing, except for I got in down here, and I kind of worked it the same way. So 980.45 on it, really solid day, a solid Friday. I really expected a little more from this, but I'll take what it gave me. And here's the ATVI. This is the one that I thought we were going to sell off. At least come down in here and test this 53.50 again. It just didn't happen. It did not happen. Ended up stopping me out. And I think eventually it did come down kind of close to this, but it's very disappointing. Late in the day on Friday, I probably should have been smart enough not to take that trade. But oh well, you live and you learn. All right, so we saw that already. All right, so here's the profit calendar for this week. And remember, I added Thursday and Friday into this first week here. And on the days that I traded in both accounts, I just split it up here. So if you want to keep up with the small account, which a lot of you guys already write down what it is anyway off the recap videos, but this is just laying it out. And this will be posted on the website. So the small account's always going to be here. Large account going to be on the right side. And you can see we finished 1086.31 this week. So, we're knocking $5,000. We're knocking on the door of $5,000 in the small account. And I know this summer was tough. We just hung around between $1,000 and $1,800. But once the market, I told you, once the market comes around and we start to find some trades and get some good moves, we were going to gradually grow. And you got to have the stamina. You got to have the discipline to stick it out. I got some emails from people, disappointed. And I tell them, look, this is the real deal. You can go follow whoever the hell you want to follow, but no matter what, you're going to have to deal with this stuff. And if you don't learn how to deal with it now, you're going to have to learn how to deal with it later. The only difference is, your bank account's going to be a little bit lighter by the time you realize you really need to do it. But if you stuck through it, you saw the grind. Now you're starting to see the market picking up, getting some volatility. We got some moves. And I'm still not catching every move. And you're not going to do that. We strive to be perfect. We strive to catch every move. But we can't do it. So all we do is, try to get better every day. Try to get better. This is where that work comes in I was talking about at the beginning. In order to stay on top, you gotta work it out. And on days where it just doesn't make sense to trade, you don't trade. Because I would rather not make a dime and keep the money that I have in my account versus push the envelope and lose 1 or 2% of it. It doesn't make any sense. So, just waiting, biding your time, test the market here and there. If it's not right, then just leave it alone. And you're going to be fine. So, like I said, this is just the beginning. We are gearing up for next year, the first quarter, and we're going to make it happen. Come hell or high water, we're going to make it happen. So this is where we are so far for the month. This is both accounts. So we are on the right track here. Next week is going to be a short week for me. I'll be here through the half a day on Thursday. The Friday, it will be open, but I won't be trading on Friday. But the room will be up and everything will be clicking. All of the scanners will be going. But I will not be in any position to, well, I don't know. Maybe I can pick all the good stocks if I'm in a highly medicated state. That I might even do better. But that's what's going on Friday. Now, I had some issues with the calendar, but I got it. This will be posted this weekend too. So to give you a heads up, week after next, on Thursday, the market's going to be closed for Thanksgiving, and on Friday, it closes at 1. There's only half a day on Friday. On, what's that, Black Friday? Never a good, I've never made money on Black Friday. I don't even remember doing it last year. But the markets are open at 1. And so technically we have Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is always pretty slow. The Monday, the morning will be okay, but then, that's usually worse than a Friday because everybody's gone. Everybody's on vacation early. But these are the classes. As usual, we're going to have our swing trade watch list build session, this is also the market, the strategy session. We're talking about the market, what we're looking for next week, and all of that. All of that's the same as that. So if you can't meet us in chat at 9 o'clock on Sunday, you guys in the community know that will be posted. Usually I try to get it posted by the afternoon. Sometimes it gets later in the evening, but I try to get it posted early enough for you guys to go through it. And then our day trading for beginners class is we're gonna pick that back up on Tuesday. We took this week off. We'll pick that back up on Tuesday. And our education webinars, depends on what you guys recommend. Whatever I get, whatever subject you guys ask for, that's what we're going to get. So shoot me an email if there's something you want me to cover in these education webinars. That's what these are based off of. They're based off of member requests. All right, so that's going to do it for me. You won't hear from me tomorrow. I am going to fully immerse myself in college football. First Saturday that I can do that. And then I'll go take some time off and go to the Carolina Craftsman's Classic. That's always our holiday kickoff. So we'll do some of that. But gonna really relax this weekend. And for you guys that join me on Sunday, I will see you guys bright and early Sunday morning. We'll see if we can get this week kicked off on the right foot. So you guys stay safe, and I will see you soon.